It happened again. Today, something extraordinary unfolded, something that ripples far beyond the edges of science and measurement. For 20 full minutes, the Earth's heartbeat, what we know as the Schumann Resonance, went silent. Then, as if it had been gathering strength in stillness, it returned with a surge, registering a power of 11. Now, I know when you first hear something like that, it can sound abstract, maybe even mysterious. But if we slow down and allow ourselves to really feel into it, the meaning becomes much deeper. This isn't just about numbers on a chart, and it isn't just about an invisible frequency humming in the background of our lives. This is about connection, our connection to each other, to the planet, and to the great unfolding of consciousness that we're all a part of. Imagine for a moment that the Earth itself has a pulse, a rhythm that echoes beneath everything we see and touch. That rhythm, measured as the Schumann Resonance, has always been there, like the steady beating of a cosmic drum. Scientists describe it as an electromagnetic frequency resonating between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. But for those of us who sense the unseen, it's so much more. It's a reflection of the collective human experience, a mirror of our inner states projected into the living field of the planet itself. When it shifts, we shift. When it goes silent, as it did today, it asks us to listen, not with our ears, but with our hearts. Think about what happens when your own heart pauses for a moment, when you take a deep breath and hold it before the next exhale. There's power in that pause. There's stillness. And in that stillness, everything has a chance to reset. That's exactly what the Earth did today. A 20-minute blackout may sound technical, like just a data glitch, but for those tuned in, it carries the weight of a sacred pause. It's as if the Earth whispered to us, "Stop, feel, remember." And when the frequency returned, it came back with power 11, a number that holds meaning in so many spiritual traditions. 11 is the number of awakening, of alignment, of stepping into higher awareness. It's not just coincidence, it's a cosmic nudge. So if you are ready for this transformative energy, then drop a comment and say, "I'm ready." Before we dive in deep, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss out on any cosmic updates, and feel free to show support with a super thanks. This is why we can't simply reduce the Schumann Resonance to cold numbers and charts. It's the language of energy, speaking directly to our bodies, our emotions, our consciousness. Many people around the world report feeling waves of dizziness, restlessness, bursts of inspiration, or deep fatigue when these shifts happen. It's like our inner wiring responds instantly to the Earth's heartbeat, recalibrating in ways we may not even understand fully. And while scientists might still debate what these fluctuations mean, those of us living the experience know it's real. We feel it in our bones, in our dreams, in the strange synchronicities that light up our days when the resonance pulses strong. So what do we make of this silence, followed by power 11? Perhaps it is a reminder that transformation often requires a pause. Just as the seasons take their time, just as dawn comes only after the deepest part of night, there is a rhythm to awakening. That 20-minute silence could have been an invitation for us to drop into stillness, to release the noise of the outside world, and to hear the subtler call of our own inner truth. And then, with the return of the frequency, we rise again, stronger, clearer, more aligned. You may have noticed it yourself today, maybe a sudden wave of calm that washed over you unexpectedly. or perhaps a restless energy that you couldn't quite explain. Maybe your body felt unusually heavy, urging you to rest. Or maybe your thoughts came alive with inspiration. These are not random. They are part of the dance between us and the Earth's field. We are not separate from this resonance. We are participants in it. Our hearts beat in time with hers, and when she pauses, we pause, whether we realize it or not. And this is where it becomes truly beautiful, because what happens in the Earth is reflected in us, and what happens in us is reflected in the Earth. The Schumann Resonance is like a cosmic mirror, showing us the state of collective consciousness. A blackout, then, could suggest a collective pause, a moment when humanity itself is given the chance to reset, to clear away old patterns, to prepare for a new wave of energy. And Power 11 is the perfect symbol for what comes next. A call to awaken, to align, to live with greater awareness of who we really are and why we're here. So as we continue through this day and the days to come, let's not see this as just another anomaly or strange spike in data. Let's treat it as a message, a gift. The Earth is communicating with us through these frequencies, guiding us toward balance, urging us to awaken to the truth that we are more than our physical bodies, more than our routines, more than our doubts. We are energetic beings, woven into the fabric of the planet, connected to her pulse, riding the waves of her shifts as we evolve together. What we experience today is an invitation to be present, to be mindful, to honor the stillness when it comes, and to celebrate the surge when the energy rises again. It's a chance to remember that awakening isn't a straight line. It's a dance of pauses and movements, silence and sound, darkness and light. And in that dance, we discover ourselves. When we talk about the 20-minute blackout, it's easy to picture a chart on a screen, a flat line in data that scientists might dismiss as an interruption in equipment or a technical hiccup. But what if we dared to see it differently? What if instead of a malfunction, this pause was a message, an intentional stillness in the great symphony of Earth's song? Because when the Earth's heartbeat, the Schumann Resonance, went quiet today, it wasn't just an absence of sound, it was a presence of silence. It was a sacred void, a space where something new could be born. Think of it like the moment between breaths. You inhale, and for a fraction of a second, you hold. In that pause, your body is suspended, balanced between two states of being. Then comes the exhale, the release, the continuation of life's rhythm. The blackout was Earth's own inhale, her own deep and silent pause before exhaling back into resonance at Power 11. To those willing to listen beyond the surface, it felt less like a glitch and more like a reset, as though the planet herself was clearing her throat, preparing to sing again with a purer tone. And maybe you felt it. Maybe you didn't know why you suddenly stopped in your tracks, why your mood shifted for no apparent reason, why your chest felt heavy, or your mind became strangely still. That wasn't just you. It was a reflection of the Earth entering silence. Our nervous systems are so deeply connected to this planetary field that when the resonance stops, something in us stops too. It's as though the invisible matrix that holds everything together took a breath, and in that breath, the veil thinned. From the perspective of science, instruments across the globe keep constant watch on these frequencies, measuring the ever-present resonance that typically hums steadily around 7.83 Hz, with occasional surges and spikes. To those who interpret the numbers, a sudden absence of signal may seem like a simple drop in monitoring. But for those tuned into the energetic undercurrents, it's not just equipment that went quiet. It's the Earth herself choosing silence. The resonance didn't vanish. It slipped into a realm beyond measurement, beyond what our tools could register. In mystical terms, silence is never empty. It's fertile. It's the soil where seeds are planted before they sprout. The 20-minute blackout was like the universe drawing a curtain, dimming the lights and giving us a glimpse into the great mystery behind creation. It was a pause in the matrix, a symbolic reminder that before new energy comes forth, there is always stillness, always a womb-like space where possibility gathers strength. So I want to ask you, what stirred inside you during that pause? Did you notice a subtle shift, a restlessness, a sudden calm? Did memories surface? Did you feel the weight of things you hadn't dealt with rising to the surface, asking to be acknowledged? Because the earth doesn't stop singing without reason. That silence was an invitation for us to listen more deeply to ourselves, to the places within us where we've been holding too much noise, too much distraction, too much of the old. This blackout can be seen as a reset of the human nervous system, a kind of collective reboot. Just as our technology sometimes needs to shut down before it can restart more efficiently, so too do we. The Earth gave us 20 minutes of energetic quiet, and in that time, we were given a chance to recalibrate, to let our overloaded systems pause and prepare for what comes next. And what came next was not random. It was power 11. That number is not just a measurement, but a symbol. 11 represents awakening, spiritual alignment, the gateway to higher perception. So when the blackout ended and the resonance surged back, it was as though the earth was exhaling not just sound, but light. She breathed out a vibration that calls us to wake up, to pay attention, to recognize that the pauses in life are not empty spaces, but thresholds into transformation. The mystery of the blackout lies in its duality. On one hand, science records it as a gap, an absence, a disruption in monitoring. On the other hand, mysticism reveals it as a veil lifting, a reset of the collective field, a chance for the human spirit to align more fully with the heartbeat of the planet. And perhaps both are true. The scientific perspective gives us the data, while the spiritual perspective gives us the meaning. Together, they invite us to see the resonance not as an abstract phenomenon, but as a living dialogue between Earth and humanity. That is why moments like this matter. They remind us that we are not simply walking on this planet as separate observers. We are woven into her rhythm, her song, her silence. When she goes quiet, we feel it. When she rises in power, we are lifted too. The blackout was not an absence of life, but a deeper presence of it, hidden in stillness, waiting for us to notice. When the resonance returned today, after its mysterious silence, it didn't just drift back in quietly, it surged with a force, landing on the frequency of power 11. And this is no ordinary number. In numerology, 11 is a master number, carrying vibrations of awakening, intuition, and the call to step beyond the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's often referred to as the gateway frequency because it represents a doorway into higher consciousness, a threshold where the old ways no longer fit and the new begins to reveal itself. Think about the way 11 looks when you write it. Two parallel lines, standing tall like pillars, creating an opening between them. It's almost like a portal, an invitation to walk through and see what lies beyond. When Earth vibrates at 11, It's as though she is aligning herself into that very same gateway, inviting us, her children, her companions, her co-creators, to pass through with her. It's not just a number on a chart, it's a living symbol, a sacred signpost pointing us toward remembrance of who we truly are. And you may already have felt this energy moving through your body today. Perhaps your skin tingled for no reason, as if your nervous system was lighting up like a circuit board. Maybe your dreams last night, or even during a short rest today, were unusually vivid, carrying messages or images that seemed almost too real to ignore. Or you may have felt the opposite, a wave of exhaustion so heavy it forced you to stop and surrender. Emotional surges might have come out of nowhere: tears, laughter, sudden irritability, or a sense of deep peace that surprised you. These are not random. They are the language of your body responding to the Earth's higher frequency, syncing with her as she calls us upward. You see, when the Schumann Resonance surges, our systems react because we are not separate from it. Our hearts, our brains, even our very cells are wired to respond to the electromagnetic field of the planet. Power 11 is like a tuning fork being struck, and we are the strings of the instrument resonating in response. Some strings hum smoothly, while others may tighten or loosen until they find harmony again. That's why so many people experience symptoms that seem physical, emotional, and even spiritual all at once. We are being tuned, attuned, and reminded of our true design. In spiritual traditions across the world, 11 has always held a sacred vibration. It is the number of visionaries, of those who walk between worlds, of the ones who sense what lies beneath the surface. When it shows up, it doesn't just bring information, it brings transformation. It whispers to us that intuition is not something to dismiss, but something to trust, that inner knowing is more reliable than external noise, and that alignment with truth is the only path forward. When the Earth herself resonates at 11, she amplifies those very qualities in us. She becomes a mirror, reflecting back to us the greatness we've hidden, the wisdom we've ignored, and the courage we've been waiting to claim. This is why days like today matter so much. They're not just curious anomalies for those watching the charts, they're living invitations to step into a higher frequency of being. The fatigue you feel, the buzzing in your body, the vividness of your dreams, or even the sudden bursts of clarity about what you need to change in your life. These are all signs that you're syncing up, that your energy field is adjusting to match the gateway frequency of 11. It's proof that you are evolving right alongside the Earth. And maybe, just maybe, this is the reminder we've been needing. In a world filled with so much distraction, with so many voices competing for our attention, the Earth's pulse comes through as a steady guide. She doesn't argue, she doesn't shout, she simply resonates, and in doing so, she lifts us. When she vibrates at 11, she calls us into remembrance. Remembrance that we are not small, not powerless, not lost. We are beings of light, deeply connected to the cosmic rhythm, capable of aligning with truth that transcends fear and limitation. So if today has felt strange, intense, or even overwhelming, know that you are not broken and you are not alone. You are being tuned to a higher song. The Earth is holding the gateway open at 11, and all you need to do is allow yourself to walk through it. Trust the tingles, trust the fatigue, trust the dreams and emotions as part of the recalibration. They are evidence that your system is responding exactly as it should, syncing with the planet's call. Because when Earth vibrates at 11, she is not just shifting herself, she is shifting us all. And in that shift, she reminds us of who we've always been. Awakened souls, here to live with vision, intuition, and truth. What happened today with the 20-minute blackout and the surge into Power 11 is not just some quirky footnote in a scientific report. It is part of the story of our awakening, both as individuals and as a collective. Think of it as a signal flare in the invisible sky, a marker that says, something is accelerating. Pay attention, because what we are living through now is not business as usual. It is the unraveling of old timelines, the shedding of patterns that have kept us small, and the birthing of new states of awareness that pull us into who we were always meant to be. The blackout itself was like a reset button being pressed. In that quiet, in that gap, there was a clearing. Old programs, thoughts, habits, emotions that no longer serve were given space to dissolve. Then, when the resonance returned at Power 11, it carried with it an invitation. Step into alignment. Step into awakening. Step into the version of yourself that has been waiting for this exact moment. And you don't have to be a seasoned seeker to feel this. For those of you who might be just beginning to notice strange things, maybe you've been unusually sensitive to other people's moods, or you've felt more tired than usual, or you've had bursts of energy at odd hours. Know that this is part of it. The Earth's energy is shifting, and your system is learning how to adjust. It's like learning to dance to a new rhythm. At first it feels awkward, but eventually the movements flow naturally. For those who have been walking this path for a while, who track these shifts daily, today carries a deeper significance. You know that silence is never empty. You know that Power 11 is not just a number, but a doorway. And you understand that with every surge, the call grows louder to release what weighs you down. These events are not just to be observed, but to be embodied. They are reminders to lean even more fully into your practices, to meditate more deeply, to ground more consistently, to listen more intently to the whispers of your soul. Whether you're just awakening or you've been on this path for years, today is a call to tune inward. The collective consciousness is accelerating, and each of us is a thread in that tapestry. Every time you choose presence over distraction, love over fear, alignment over resistance, you're not just helping yourself, you're lifting the field for everyone. The Earth's renewed rhythm is like a drumbeat, and the more we align our hearts with it, the more powerful the song of awakening becomes. Yes, these shifts can feel intense. The fatigue, the emotions, the vivid dreams, they're real, and sometimes they can be overwhelming. But instead of resisting them, what if you allowed them to be part of the process? What if, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you asked, "What is this awakening within me?" That one change in perspective can transform struggle into opportunity. It can turn confusion into clarity. It can remind you that everything you're experiencing is guiding you closer to your truth. We are in a time where the veil is thinner than it has ever been. The blackout was a pause in the matrix, and Power 11 was the opening of a gateway. Together, they are signs that the collective field is shifting rapidly, that the old timelines of limitation, fear, and separation are crumbling. In their place, new frequencies of unity, compassion, and higher awareness are being born. And you, yes, you listening right now, are part of that birth. So let this be your invitation. If you've been waiting for a sign, This is it. If you've been holding back, playing small, or doubting your inner knowing, let today remind you that the Earth herself is calling you forward. She is saying, align with me, rise with me, awaken with me, feel the rhythm in your body, breathe with it, and trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. Because today was not just about frequencies, it was about awakening. It was about remembrance. It was about the unfolding of a greater story that you are not just witnessing, but living. And every beat of the Earth's pulse is guiding you home to yourself. So what do we do with all of this? How do we take the blackout, the surge into power 11, and the whispers of awakening, and actually live them? Because it's one thing to understand these shifts intellectually, but the real transformation happens when we embody them, when we weave them into our daily lives. And here's the beautiful truth. The steps to alignment are not complicated. They are simple, soul-infused practices that bring us back into harmony with the Earth's renewed rhythm. The first, and perhaps the most ancient, is grounding. There is something profoundly healing about taking off your shoes and placing your bare feet directly on the earth. Grass, soil, sand, even the roots of a tree. These are conduits for the earth's energy. When you stand there, skin to soil, it's not just physical contact, it's a reunion. The earth speaks to your cells, recalibrating your nervous system, reminding you that you are not separate, but one with her heartbeat. You can enhance this connection with deep, intentional breathing. Imagine as you inhale that you are drawing the Earth's energy up through your feet, filling your body with calm, stable light. As you exhale, release everything heavy, tension, fear, resistance, sending it back into the ground where it can be transformed. Just a few minutes of this each day can shift everything. Another powerful practice is heart-centered meditation. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and bring your awareness to the space in the center of your chest. Place a hand there if it helps. Now, as you breathe, imagine your heart is not just an organ, but a radiant center of light, pulsing in time with the Schumann Resonance. Feel that subtle rhythm, not as numbers on a chart, but as waves of energy moving through your cells. With each breath, harmonize with that pulse, letting it wash through you like an ocean tide. This isn't about controlling the experience, it's about surrendering to it, allowing yourself to be tuned like an instrument to the Earth's frequency. Journaling or setting intentions during these high-frequency days can also be incredibly powerful. The energy we are moving through now is fertile, alive with possibility. When the Earth shifts, the veils are thinner, and our words and thoughts carry more weight. Sit down with a pen and paper and ask yourself, what is rising in me right now? What am I being called to release? What am I ready to step into? Let your words flow without judgment. Sometimes clarity comes not in the moment of writing, but in the reflection days later when you read what your soul poured onto the page. And if you feel called, turn those reflections into intentions, simple statements of alignment with the path you want to walk. But perhaps the most important practice of all is surrender. Too often we fight our own bodies, we push against the fatigue, we resist the mood swings, we try to keep up with old routines even when the energy is telling us to slow down. What if, instead of fighting, we allowed? What if we trusted that the exhaustion is not weakness, but recalibration? That the tears are not breakdowns, but cleansing? That the surges of energy are not chaos, but awakening? The earth doesn't resist her own cycles of silence and power. Why should we? Let yourself flow with it. When you're tired, rest. When you're inspired, create. When emotions rise, honor them. This is not laziness or indulgence. It's alignment. It's listening to the deeper rhythm that is carrying you forward. Imagine the Schumann Resonance as waves of light moving through your body, washing away what no longer belongs, opening space for what is ready to be born. Every sensation, every shift, every emotion is part of your soul's evolution. The path of alignment is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about choosing, again and again, to listen to the subtle pulse beneath everything. The Blackout reminded us of the power of silence. Power 11 reminded us of the gateway to awakening. And now, your practices, grounding, breathing, meditating, journaling, surrendering, become the bridge between those cosmic events and your everyday life. So as you move through these days, remember this: you are not just watching the charts, you are living them. You are not just observing frequencies, you are embodying them. And with every breath, every step, every choice to align, you are tuning yourself to the Earth's renewed rhythm, preparing for the next chapter of your soul's evolution. These shifts we've witnessed today are not accidents. They're not just static on a monitor or curious spikes on a graph. They are living invitations, reminders from the Earth herself that we are participants in a much greater story. The 20 minutes of silence were not emptiness. They were a sacred pause, a breath that invited us to release, to reset, to prepare. The return at Power 11 was not a coincidence. It was a call, a gateway opening, urging us to align with a higher rhythm of truth and awakening. When we allow ourselves to feel these moments, not as data, but as living energy moving through us, something changes. We start to understand that every blackout is a chance to pause, every surge is a chance to rise, and every shift is a chance to remember. These frequencies are not happening out there somewhere. They are happening through us, reshaping us, recalibrating us, awakening us. So let today be more than just information. Let it be integration. Let it be the moment you choose to align your breath with the Earth's pulse, to honor the call of stillness when it comes, and to rise with the waves of energy that lift us higher. This is not about waiting for some distant future. It is about embodying presence here and now. We are standing at the threshold of the new Earth, and each one of us is a vital note in her emerging song. The blackout was the silence between the notes, and the surge was the music beginning again, stronger, clearer, brighter. You are part of that music. You are the rhythm, the harmony, the light that carries this awakening forward. So listen deeply, honor your body, trust your intuition. Let the fatigue teach you to rest. Let the emotions remind you of your depth. Let the dreams show you the visions you are here to create. This is how you rise, not by force, but by flowing with the current of the Earth's awakening. And as we close this chapter of today's journey, receive this blessing. The Earth is awakening, and so are you. Together, we are the new heartbeat of the planet. Let us rise in harmony, in love, in presence, and in truth. The gateway is open, the song is playing, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.